When was the last time you took a leap of faith, trusting that everything is going to work out? Do you crave growth, or are you merely content with the status quo? If you want more out of your life, out of your career, and out of your relationships, you are in the right place. Take the leap and discover how to create a life by design rather than living it by default. Real success starts with you. Now here's your host, Colleen Biggs.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Take the Leap. I am your host, Colleen Biggs, and I am so excited, not only for 2024, because, I create my vision board like back in October, November. I help a lot of ladies create their vision boards through either doing a retreat or having my clients together. And Pallavi Gupta is with us today, and I really had the pleasure of getting to know her so much better when we spent 5 days together with some other ladies in Scottsdale, and we had an amazing time building our business plans for 2024. And I'm just super impressed by her and why I had asked her if she would be on today's show. But before we get to Pallavi and diving into, here's the best part. Are you of a different culture than where you live? Pallavi is a Desi lady, and we're going to talk about what that means. And I think she says it a little bit different than I do, and maybe she can correct me when we get to it. But she has been navigating two cultures for a very long time in her life, and it has been very difficult. And she found out she wasn't alone. And I know there are ladies out there listening today that are, or maybe even gentlemen that are navigating two cultures. So we're going to talk a little bit about what that's been like for her. What the struggle was like, what she did to get through it, what she's still doing today to navigate through all that. But before we do, I want to thank the sponsor of today's show, Beyond Basil Mobile Pizzeria. We are passionate about bringing the authentic flavors of Italy right to your event. Our mobile pizzeria is a culinary adventure on wheels where we craft artisanal pizzas using the finest ingredients and traditional Neapolitan techniques. Whether you're craving a classic margarita or looking to explore one of our unique flavor combinations, our skilled pizziolas are here to create mouth-watering pizzas that will tantalize your taste buds. With our commitment to quality and exceptional service, we aim to provide an unforgettable dining experience for every one of your guests, especially at your wedding. Explore our menu, book us for your next event, and follow us on Instagram at Beyond Basil Pizza. Get ready to embark on a pizza journey like no other with Beyond Basil Mobile Pizzeria. You can view our menu for your next wedding and contact us at beyondbasilmobilepizzeria.com. Okay, now let's get into the meat of our conversation today. I have Pallavi Gupta here, who is a certified health and life coach with the Health Coach Institute, holds a bachelor's degree in nutrition science and a senior human resources professional certification. Formerly immersed in human resources, she experienced the impact of chronic stress on her health, prompting a career shift. Now, as a Desi wellness coach, Pallavi is passionately dedicated to empowering Desi go-getter women. Through her dynamic coaching, group support, and retreats, she guides them through the challenges of dual cultures, emphasizing her unique 5 agreements for holistic well-being. Join Pallavi on a transformative journey to prioritize self-care and discover your inner balance. Pallavi, welcome to today's show.
Hi, Colleen. Thank you so much for inviting me.
You look beautiful today.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look great. So for those of you that can't see her, hop on over to our YouTube channel so you can see our video. She just looks striking today. So tell me, I read in your bio, you said that you had some chronic stress on your health. There was an impact there that prompted you for a career shift. Take us back. What happened?
Yeah, so this was some years ago, and I remember it very thoroughly, just as if it happened yesterday. And I was in the midst of my career as a human resources consultant. I was working for a company out here, and there was so much going on at that company that I didn't even have time to be sick. It was one illness after another. I had laryngitis and a team member needed help. I had to coach them through with no voice. That same year, I had COVID for the first time. That's right. I had COVID twice, one literally a year after. And that got me thinking. I probably am not the only person who's balancing and struggling to move forward in her career and deal with the cultural and societal pressures being of Indian descent. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area where there are a ton of Indians. I mean, every little pocket is probably a little India. But I grew up with parents who were very conservative. I was not allowed to date when I was younger, yet I'm told to go get married. I don't know how you figure that one out, parents. But I'm also told by my mom's side of the generation, as a woman, you must be educated, you must make a living for yourself, and you need to do well in your career if you have one. And you need to be married, and you need to support your kids and your husband. And by the way, caretake your elders, and you can't say no. That's a lot on one person.
Yeah.
And to hear this most of my life, and to hear other ladies, Desi ladies, go through the same, my heart goes out to them, and I say, we have to learn to figure out what's right for us. It's okay to say no, because how else do you not stop this vicious cycle of being stressed out, taking a toll on your body, and not figuring out what makes you happy in the end?
Yeah.
Because we only have this one precious life. Who are we living it for?
I know there are a lot of cultures out there that are very, very deep in the loyalty just centuries back for those cultural, what would you call them? Beliefs in how you are to be. So, how do your parents feel about you today at your age not being married?
Actually, this just came up a few weeks ago. And it's that, oh, it's time. We need to get you married. I understand where they're coming from. They don't want me to be alone. They want me to have a companion. And I get that. But it's going to happen in its own time. And I want it with the right person.
I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard it, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you mind sharing how old you are to the audience?
Sure. I just recently turned 39.
Okay. So for my thought, if I have a 39-year-old daughter and she's still not married and that's how she's living her life, in my mind, right, this is just the way I think, I would support her through whatever it is. I have a son right now, our youngest one, who's 26. Maybe he's 27. I could have gotten that wrong. I apologize if you're older than I thought you were. No, he's 26. I'm thinking, what year was he born? And he's like, Mom, I just don't really want to date anyone right now. I want to focus on my career. And I'm like, good for you. How can I support you in that? For me, it's not about me. It's really about what my son needs in his life right now. And I find that when people are trying to balance between a family that is super culturally rich and have those, and then maybe looking and living in the United States where it isn't necessarily like that for a lot of families, that you're like, how do I do this? How do I become really one of where I am, but really stick to my roots of my culture? Because you have a lot of celebrations, right? You have a lot of cultural traditions of things that I'm sure you still absolutely love to do in your life, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Name a couple of those traditions that you absolutely love as being an Indian woman.
Yeah. Even then, so it's okay for the men to actually get married later.
Yeah.
But it's really a lot on the women. India's super diverse. And within the diversity of the different states, within them, they have their own cultural differences. I know women who are in South India, it's like between 20 and like 25, you have to get married. If you don't, you're considered an old maid.
Okay. That's something
So it gets
I
really
didn't know.
specific in some of the diverseness of being Indian or Desi. So I think it's important for us to figure out who we are and find that balance. I think you can still find yourself even if you are married at a young age. Find your voice. Find a way that figures out who are you. If you don't ask yourself questions and you just say yes, okay, and nod your head and just go with it, are you really being happy? And so
Oh, yeah.
because you're just being a pleaser, right? Just saying yes
Yeah.
to everything, letting your husband guide you. You have to, part of the culture in a way is some of them, and I think some families and cultures have progressed, but it's like,
Mm.
yeah, I'm subservient. But we're not. We do so much. We're so powerful as women. I mean, look what our bodies can do, right?
Absolutely. So, what I hear you saying is you probably have worked with women and they've been in your group. I know you have a meetup group as well that are married. So now they're a Desi woman, they're married, and now they're responsible, right, for bringing their children up with their husbands, whether they're married to an Indian man or of other cultural descent. That's when you have interracial marriages, even looking at difference of culture, it's like, how do we want to raise our children? And I believe that that should be the decision of the couple that makes that decision. However, if I hear what you're saying, it's possible that if an Indian woman or a Desi woman is married to an Indian man, that he's going to want those exact cultural traditions to be part of the family. And she might have a little different point of view on that or a different say on that. That's where you come in with your support because they feel like, or someone others, maybe even your family feels like you're acting out, right? Because of the way that you've chosen to live your life, which is different than the way the cultural boundaries are, let's just say. It's different, but you're not wrong because you're an individual and you have a need and a want and you want to live your life a certain way. So the reason why I'm saying that to you is because this is why you created the group. This is why you support women because you're struggling that straddle and they are too because they've told you, oh yeah. But here's the thing, you understand them exactly because you are one of them. And that's what makes a difference. I could not start a support group to be able to support Desi women because I'm not a Desi woman. I don't understand the challenges of the cultural traditions, especially when I'm living somewhere else. So, talk to us a little bit about, the things that you've had to do to really kind of get to the mindset that you're at today. I know you did a lot of work on yourself. And so you work with these women through this change and process.
Yeah. And Colleen, I'm still working on myself. I think every day is an experience and I go through something, I meet somebody, or I deal with something that I haven't had to deal with previously with my own family. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to say I'm a work in progress because I'm only human.
Mm.
And so I've had to do a lot of work. It's a lot of inner work. So I've done therapy. I know there can be shame around therapy, and there shouldn't be.
No, no,
There
no,
should
no.
absolutely not be because sometimes you need an outside person to show you and uncover what are you not seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Absolutely.
I've done some of that. And, I read a lot of books. I love to read. And each author has given me different perspectives. One of my favorite books is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel. And he has what he calls four agreements. But those four agreements have inspired me to create my own formula, my five agreements.
Do we get a sneak peek a little bit into what the five agreements are?
I can tell you one of them,
Okay.
and I think
Okay.
that would be really great. It's called My Best is Enough. I think
Mm.
we have a challenge with us. We're so self-critical as women.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're in relationships, maybe in families or with other partners that tell us that we're not good enough. and we're not capable of doing what we want, or we're not able to achieve what we want.
Yeah.
Maybe it's our surroundings in our life or our environment that prevent us from feeling that way. But, as I was sorting through this and my own self having this challenge of believing my best is enough, I've made mistakes in my careers all the time. How can I not? I'm a human, I'm not a robot.
Yeah.
But what it really came back to is me working on my self-acceptance, working on my self-compassion. That was the hardest. And, having sympathy for myself and being gentle and forgiveness. Oh, okay, so I did screw up. Now what? Right? It's letting go of what I can't change and what I can't control, but all at the same time saying it's okay. And let's figure out what needs to happen next and start rolling with that. And then the
Yeah.
self-love, knowing I have value, I bring value, I have worth, and to trust and to believe in that.
That was beautiful. My best is enough is one of the agreements. And I know in your group, you really work them, through the support of understanding those 5 agreements, but then applying those 5 agreements to their life. Not just here are the 5 agreements, but what situations have you been in where you thought your best wasn't enough? And then moving forward tomorrow, when you run into a situation, how are you going to respond knowing that your best is enough? And that creates confidence. When we create that confidence, we become unbreakable, really, unstoppable. It's the lack of confidence that breaks us down all the time. So if we're not building up that confidence, like you're talking about, through this dedicated support that you have with your support group, then we just don't know. So tell us, you've got a retreat coming up. I know you also have a meetup group. So let's talk about your meetup group and the retreat.
Absolutely. So I actually have a speaker who is a Desi lady joining me this Saturday, the 16th at 2 p.m., completely virtual. And she's going to teach us a 5-minute routine because, I look at inner beauty can be not just what we have inside and how we can work on ourself, the inner work, as people call it.
Yeah.
But sometimes how we look, right? How do we put on our face if that feels comfortable for us? What are the clothes we're wearing? Do we feel confident in them? Do we love our body?
Well, I always say the most the sexiest thing you can wear is confidence.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's figuring out how do you want to present yourself to the outside world, but you're looking at yourself first. You're not thinking about what other people are going to say about you or care what they say about you. You're putting on a routine of face routine, makeup, or some products that make you build your confidence for yourself.
That's beautiful. So you have these meetup groups, and what do you meet always on a Saturday?
Always on a Saturday.
Okay.
I
Because
find
you
it
work with a lot
easy.
of ladies that are still working or have kids and they're busy during the week. So Saturdays are a little bit easier. So, what is the name of your meetup group for one?
Yes, it's Divine Connections, Empowered Desi Women's Circle.
Okay. Divine Connections, Empowered Desi Women's Circle. And then I know you have a retreat coming up. So you meet a couple of times a month on Meetup, whether in person or online. So that's a great way for Desi women to get the support, the ladies to get the support that they need. Tell us about your retreat that you have coming up in October.
Yes, I'm so excited about this retreat. This is in Watsonville. Now, Watsonville is a little bit known for the strawberry farms, but as you get through the strawberry farms, you actually end up near a beach, and it's a beautiful beach. The beach house is a 2-minute walk to the beach entrance, and it's a very interesting house. There's a tower, so it's quite a unique house, and it's going to be a fun, amazing weekend. Imagine moving away from the stress and chaos that you have in your daily grind and being able to just breathe, smell the ocean air, the warm sand in your toes, the sea salt on your lips, and just take the time to breathe and rediscover yourself.
Yeah, that's
So
beautiful.
we have a lot of different activities that are going to help through that. And of course, I'll teach my 5 agreements framework. And of course, I'll have a few other very lovely speakers joining at the
Yeah,
retreat.
I mean, everything about your retreat that I've read is amazing because you're taking them through everything that they need, from yoga on the beach to meditation to moving inside the house to having a speaker talking on, mindfulness and whatever it is. You really are focusing on everything from the mind, the body, the spiritual, all of those sides that I believe we all need to escape and get away, and then be in a room supported by women like us. And I think that's very important. So, what are the dates of that retreat, Pallavi?
Yes, so it starts on Friday, October 18th,
Okay.
and it ends on Sunday afternoon, the 20th.
Okay, wonderful. So we'll have those dates available, as well as the link for all of you to be able to check that out and enroll, as well as the meetup group. We want to make sure we have the link for that below. We also have your link for Instagram at Divine Lotus Coach, your Facebook group. Tell us a little bit about your Facebook group.
Yes, actually, it's just a page right now, but I'm in the midst of creating a Facebook group.
Wonderful. Okay, great. And that will be more support for the Desi women. And then on LinkedIn, is that a good place for someone to DM you, to reach out to you, or do you prefer them to DM you on Facebook? What is the best for you?
LinkedIn would be the best, but if you don't follow LinkedIn, or you're not on LinkedIn, then Facebook is another avenue to feel free to DM me and reach out. I'd love to answer your questions. And just remember, you're not alone. You're absolutely not alone. There are other women out there who could just use your support just as much as you can use theirs.
I love that you said that. I know you're on Instagram too, and you're very active. So I highly recommend you all follow her on Instagram, because on Instagram, I know she also has a lot of videos that she posts out there. And it's just a lot of great content for you. Just reminding you, like, this isn't a life where you have to do it alone. There's women out there supporting, and she found the support she needed and the guidance that she needed. And that's what got her to where she is today. And now she's paying that forward and giving that back to other women and supporting them moving forward through her online group support, her retreats, as well as a one-on-one if you need it. Some of us need a little deeper dive. Like you said, you went to therapy for a while. So that one-on-one help can really be beneficial for the right people. So Pallavi, I can't thank you enough for being here today and sharing vulnerably about your journey and where you've been and what you've been through. Thank you so much for providing women that support that they need. I mean, they really need it. So thank you for serving that culture of women that are looking for women like them for support, because you truly can understand. You and Pooja were both at the retreat last year, and the two of you just connected immediately because you were both the exact same women, and that's just the way it is. You just connect with your culture. So if you're a Desi women out there or woman out there looking for a community, she definitely has them available for you. So make sure you click on those links and find them. And I just want to remind you, each one of you, you're the only you that's ever been. You're the only you that's ever going to be. So if your life isn't going the way you want it to go, design it to look differently. Get the support you need. Pallavi made a huge shift and left the HR consulting role and decided to get her certification and start supporting other people on their journey in life as well. And that, takes a big background of, human resources and understanding people. So thank you, Pallavi, for doing this moving forward. And I just want to thank all of you for joining us today and being our loyal listeners. And until next time, don't forget, be you and be strong. Bye-bye for now.
We hope you enjoyed our show today, as our guests shared their secrets on designing their life by taking the necessary leaps to expand their influence and attract the right people and clients into their lives. To start these easy steps for yourself, be sure to visit www.colleenbiggs.net/freebies to download the 7 ways to increase your exposure today.